You're listening to UtdPodcast, the official podcast of Man United Zone.
Go on, full time!
Hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning into UtdPodcast, whether that be to you guys on Spotify as normal or on YouTube as we've now started. So, hope you like the studio. Tom's here alongside me again. And we'll get right into it. City game, best I've ever seen Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. How did you find it as well?
Oh, it was unbelievable. Game itself, I was definitely worried for the first 20-25 minutes.
Oh, longer than that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when both goals went in, Old Trafford was bouncing. Best I've ever experienced. It was.
I was so happy he scored that second one as well. If it had to be anyone, I'm so glad it was Scotty.
On his return.
I love Scotty. Love Scotty, me. Great player. In terms of performances, fantastic again. Fred was insane.
Yep.
Matic was his normal, just calm, composed, assured in possession.
Yeah.
We didn't give City a kick all game. It was honestly.
As I said, it was worrying for the first, until we scored the first goal. Really.
Yeah.
I thought they were definitely just going to get a chance at some point.
Yeah.
But they didn't really have any big chances. I mean, De Gea maybe made one or two standard saves that he should be making.
Yeah, I think their expected goals was half, 0.5.
Yeah.
And the only one was that Sterling chance, which, I mean, Sterling in form is a tap-in much.
Yeah.
Even then he misses half the tap-ins anyway, so an out-of-form range Sterling, that's never going in, is it? So,
No, it was, I mean, I was getting worried towards the end that it was going to be a repeat of the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
Which is very similar the way the game had been structured.
It was tense.
Yeah, but 2-0 against City, can't complain.
It's I was so pleased with the man of the performance because we didn't give him a kick all game.
No.
Didn't give him a single good opportunity. Every single player in that team played so well.
Yeah.
Brandon Williams was really good. I think the other thing that I really liked was all his substitutions were right. It was completely the right decision to take off Martial because he wasn't offering anything, and as we've seen now, he's clearly injured because he's out of the game against Lask later today, and he might be out for the weekend. So it was the right decision to take off Martial, who wasn't offering much at that point. Bring on an extra body in midfield, shut out the game because it did look at that point like City had they were having a lot of the ball in those areas, and obviously Fred was starting to tire a little bit, so an extra body did really help. And towards the end, Igalo coming on, long balls up to him.
Did really well at Igalo. I thought I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Just the way there was a few instances he just took the ball down brilliantly, touch, and even for the goal in that first build up to it was his back heel that set it all up. Really, obviously Edison's mistake, but he was just playing exactly what you'd want him to do at that point during the game.
Yeah, exactly. There was a really nice one down the right hand side where it went long to him, and he, instead of going in behind where there were a couple of City players getting towards him, he would have been sucked into a corner. He was just composed. He turned back, played it back to Wan-Bissaka, and we kept the ball for a few seconds, and got the breath back, slowed it down. And
I was very impressed. Yeah.
It was when Scotty scored.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're watching on YouTube, it was at the start of the video. The stadium erupted.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Nothing like it I've seen there. It was amazing.
You were sitting east stand lower, weren't you?
Yeah, down. To be fair, a lot of people were leaving 5 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
Why would you do that when the game was at that?
Well, it was on a knife edge. It was so close. So they could have so easily created a chance, but they didn't have anything at all.
No, they really didn't.
No, I think. Yeah.
No, I mean, and then I think they did do well putting Mahrez on. I thought it did change the game a bit, and I was getting worried he was playing well.
Yeah.
But Wan-Bissaka just shut them all off. Nothing was getting through.
No, not at all.
That was always going to happen. He completely shut Sterling out, and even when Mahrez moved across, because Sterling was struggling, he just gave him nothing. It was almost flawless before.
Incredible performance. Even going forward, like every time he had a clearance where he hit it down the line, it just seemed to come off. It pretty much always found a United player. It was. I don't know what they're doing in training with him, but it is really, really working.
Yeah, and I think he's getting there. Again, I said last week, but he's getting there going forward.
Yeah.
He's still not, 100%. I wouldn't back him if he's putting crossing, but I think he's definitely getting there.
Well, I mean, if you look at the stats, chances created from open play, Alexander-Arnold 10, and Wan-Bissaka 11.
Yeah,
so
very true.
He's ahead of that as well. I mean, Wan-Bissaka Not Wan-Bissaka. Alexander-Arnold, set-piece merchant.
Yeah, maybe you could argue.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
I
think if Aaron gets even better, then it's
I mean, looking at the England squad here, who would you pick starting at the Euros?
I think at the moment you'd probably still start Trent.
I think so. I think it'd be nice to get them both in the same team. Maybe Wan-Bissaka as a right centre back.
But I think you have to take Wan-Bissaka. Probably you definitely take Trent. You probably take Wan-Bissaka over Walker now.
Definitely leave Walker out. Walker is a useless footballer. I strongly dislike him as a footballer. He's an athlete, and to be fair to him, he's a very, very strong athlete. But as a footballer, he doesn't offer any quality. He can't defend. As Rio said on air, he's a liability at international level. But even at Champions League level, he's a liability. He gets exposed by any proper winger. But going forward, he's not that good on the ball either. He can make a simple pass, but his main asset was his pace in behind, and he's strong. When he knocks a cut back in the box, it's down to the positioning of the striker that there's often someone there for City. But if he's doing that in United's team, he's not getting any assists.
I think it would work very well taking Trent and Wan-Bissaka because if for the sort of easier games, you play Trent because you don't need to worry too much about defending. Obviously, he's strong enough.
Yeah.
But you can use him going forward to break down those teams just going to sit back against us. But for the big games, if we get late in the competition, I think you just have to play Wan-Bissaka for that defensive insurance.
Completely agree. I mean, if we can't play against Belgium or someone, then and you've got Hazard on the left wing, then it'd be stupid not to play Wan-Bissaka up against him. It's nice to have that flexibility, and for the first time in a while, England have got genuine quality in the fullbacks as well. The last good right back was probably Glenn Johnson, wasn't it? Jeez.
Yeah, even if you call him a good right back.
Yeah, he was decent. Best we've had for a while, I think. But on the Euros, what do you think? Will it go ahead? Coronavirus obviously a major problem in the UK. We've just been told our uni's now suspended for the rest of the term. But so what do you reckon of the Euros?
I wouldn't. The UEFA have got a meeting on Tuesday then, today. I wouldn't be surprised if, assuming that I think most of it will get cancelled from this weekend. This might be the last weekend in the Premier League we have this season.
I think so.
I think it would probably make sense, even though it's a shame for them to cancel the Euros until next year, postpone it to next year, and then just play the rest of the leagues in the summer. I think that's what they're going to have to do. Cause
what that does mean though is we've got the World Cup and Euros in consecutive summers, which should be pretty fun. Yeah,
it'll be very fun. And you have to see. I mean, no one even knows what's going to happen this summer. Whether you'll be able to play Premier League games this summer is another question as well.
Yeah, I mean, the way it's going, we're hoping to go to Norwich away, but I think honestly by that stage,
I even think the Spurs game on Sunday, I'd be very surprised if that goes ahead, especially if it's in front of a crowd.
I want that to go ahead. I think it'll be behind closed doors most likely, but I want it to go ahead because I think this is the best time to play Spurs. Obviously they'll put in the performance of the season against us, but they've got no Kane, no Son, no Bergwijn. They've got not a lot going forward really, so it is just the perfect time to play Spurs right now.
I mean their performance against Salzburg on Tuesday, I thought was pretty poor.
Leipzig Boston also.
Sorry, I think that we really should be beating them, but and then again, as always happens, they'll turn up, but we'll see.
Speaking of as always happens, the scarf's falling off again, but I think we should leave it for now. Put it up in a bit. But so good time to play Spurs. Last night, how do you reckon that's going to go behind closed doors?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Obviously, Martial's out. I'm not sure. It'll almost certainly start Agallo.
Hopefully, stat padding session for Agallo and Greenwood.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think it could quite easily go the same way Bruges did. I wouldn't be too surprised if it was a draw tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's been talk that with the FA Cup at least, to decide who goes through to the next round, if these rounds can't be played or who wins the competition, it'll be whoever scored the most goals in the competition so far. So in that sense, it'd be nice to get a hatful tonight, just in case that happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I can't see that happening. I think they've talked about going down to one leg for the remaining rounds, which
that's not a bad idea. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, but I mean, over 2 legs, I'm fairly confident we should beat them.
You'd really hope so. To be perfectly honest, I'd say I have reasonable odds European football, and I'd never heard of Lask before we got drawn against them. To be honest, I think a lot of fans will be in the same boat. They're an Austrian team, obviously, top of the league at the moment, by a decent way, but
we should still be beating them. There's no excuse. As I said, I think tonight, it's going to be very weird. Watching the games this week, the PSG game last night, without any fans, been
all you can hear is the players talking to each other.
So it's a different experience. It's going to change the game for the better or worse. I don't actually know for us. I doubt there'd have been much of an atmosphere anyway, but you'd hope that they can just focus on the football. And
but I guess if you're Scott McTominay right now, after that ending on Sunday, you're going to want to be back out there in front of the fans, in front of the home crowd, or even the away fans. United's away fans are fantastic, brilliant, honestly brilliant. So
I think and for all we know, it could be the last game that we see us play this season. So.
I mean, if Sunday's game is the last game of the season at Old Trafford, what a way to go out! What a way! That is
incredible. Probably the best game of the season to end on, really, isn't it?
Oh, easily.
And even the games we have left at Old Trafford, I mean, we should be getting maximum points in them, really.
You'd hope so. The way we're playing at the moment, definitely.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching on YouTube, we've decided, as you can see, we've taken down the scarf because it was coming down by its own anyway. So the team news has just been released for our game against Lask tonight. So, Tom, do you want to read out the team?
Yeah, so we've got Romero in goal, as expected.
Yeah.
And then looks like a back four: Williams, Bailly, Maguire, and Shaw.
Williams at right back.
Looks like it. So nice to have Bailly back as well.
Yeah, it is.
And then you've got Fred, McTominay, Mata, Fernandez, James, and Igalo. So an interesting formation.
Fred and McTominay.
Yeah.
Mata, Fernandez, James, Igalo. So
Yeah.
4-2-3-1 again, probably. Who's the other centre back with Bailly?
Maguire.
Oh, fair enough. I thought Tuanzebe would get a game.
Yeah, he is on the bench. So bench is De Gea, Lindelof, Tuanzebe, Matic, Pereira, Chong, Greenwood. So
that's a strong bench.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Greenwood's not starting, but maybe he's keeping him for Spurs. But
yeah,
in this current climate, with you don't know whether the Spurs game's going to go ahead.
Yeah, but I think you have to play tonight as if it is.
Assuming,
because it's
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, with the team we're playing, I'd be pretty confident that we're beating Lask tonight.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Yeah.
That is a strong Manchester United team. That should be beating Lask, as you say.
Yeah, the defence is strong enough. Obviously, Fred and McTominay been class. Mata is the sort of game that he plays well in. He can just put those creative balls in, working with Bruno as well, I'm sure.
And also looking for Igalo on the back post, because Igalo's positioning in the box. It's a lot better than Martial.
Yeah.
He knows where to be, so.
And he can just poach it, doesn't he? He gets him.
Exactly. Hopefully, you get Mata cutting in off the right. Brandon Williams go bombing on beyond him, putting in crosses for Igalo. And
no, it's a good lineup. And then some good changes. But still keeping it reasonably strong, especially if we're not playing on Sunday. Might as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm quite excited for this game. It's going to be a weird experience watching with no fans in the stadium, but have to do it at some point. So
we'll see. But hopefully a good win.
Yeah. Well, moving forward then, assuming our games do go ahead, what do you expect for the Spurs game?
Spurs game will be an interesting one. I think if it does go ahead, it will be behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Which changes. They'll be looking forward to having us in their brand new stadium.
Yeah.
That's going to have to change the atmosphere a lot for them and the sort of build up to the game. But at the end of the day, it's just playing Spurs. We should be beating them with the team they've got at the moment.
Yeah. The game earlier in the season at Old Trafford, that was such a good game.
Yeah, that was a great game. That was another great Old Trafford night that was. I mean, we should be able to put quite a few past them. I think they probably will score. I can see them doing it because they will just want to turn up for it. A lot of teams just turn up because
this will be their best performance of the season. Especially Mourinho will have every motivation to come and beat United. People are criticising his football at Spurs for being the same boring, tired stuff he played at United, and it has been. But he's going to turn up and show that he can still get a result in a big game.
Yeah, I mean he's had a slew of really poor results recently, hasn't he?
I think they've 4 losses on the bounce.
Burnley was a draw, but I mean, it's been pretty poor. I mean, they have got their 2 main players in. They've literally got no one playing up front. So
you say that. United, our injuries this season. We've had Pogba out, who's probably the best player in the squad until we signed Fernandez. We've had Rashford out, we've had Martial out, we've had McTominay out.
Oh, we have had the injuries. Yeah. They just don't have the depth to deal with it because they do not have a striker at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, but as much as people are blaming Ole for the situation we're in with midfielders until we signed Bruno.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Spurs' fault for recruitment. I mean, I think Spurs now, they're at a point where they should have, every year, every team should be buying 3 or 4 players to sort of help the manager's philosophy. Because now it's more like manager stays for 3 or 4 years, then that message gets stale, they need a new message to bring on board. They should have been buying players every year, but they haven't. They've gone through Pochettino's squad, and they've now got to a point where the squad's so old, it's ageing, everyone wants out, the message is stale, and there's nowhere ready to go for them. They're trying to sign young players, but they're doing it all of a sudden. Yeah. They've got too many to sort of blood at the same time. Jensen, Fernandez, Lo Celso, all of them, they're trying to bring them all into the team at the same time, alongside players who, let's be honest, clearly have their eyes elsewhere.
Yeah, And there's been some interesting reports on Kane this week being linked to us. I personally can't really see it happening, but I mean, obviously it'd be a good signing.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think it's a marquee signing, isn't it? I think it's that Woodward signing.
Oh yeah, he'd love it. But whether Kane would actually want to do it, I guess things are looking up for us now.
Yeah.
I mean,
United are looking a good place to go at the moment.
But is it buying players in the wrong position? I mean, Kane. If we bought Kane, he'd have to start. So then you've got Rashford and Martial. I mean, do you push one out to the right? I don't like Rashford on the right at all.
Yeah. Do you go 4-4-2? I mean, for me,
possibly.
I'm not sure. I'm not convinced it works in the modern game, but a 4-4-2 on paper, or if you're building a FIFA team or whatever, a 4-4-2 with Rashford and Kane up front, Martial on the left, Dan James on the right, or Sancho on the right, forget him.
Yeah.
McTominay and Bruno in the middle, or Fran and Bruno. That is a seriously good team. Maybe it wouldn't work in reality, but on paper it's a good team.
No, it'd be interesting to see. As I said, I can't really see us signing him. And it'd be interesting to see how much he'd go for if he does leave Spurs. But
yeah, I think it'd be worth a lot. Levy would want a lot of money for him, but United aren't exactly a poor club. We can pay it.
No, exactly.
And especially with Kane, when you're going to make the money back in shirt sales.
Yeah.
It's not really. I don't think it's a problem at all.
No, and it still fits the philosophy as well, really.
Yeah, exactly.
English talent.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be. It would be surprising to get the deal done, but I think it'd be a reasonably good fit for the team.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of where Spurs go from here, I think they're in a lot of trouble because they've got to replace their entire defence, probably got to replace their goalkeeper. Attacking options, in actual fact, with Bergwijn in, it's not looking too bad.
Yeah, he's actually been really good.
I mean, if everyone's fit, you've got Kane, Son, Lucas, Dele Alli. That's a decent enough attack with Bergwijn there as well. You can't really complain with that. Maybe they need one more body in there, but I think the attack's fine. But they've got to replace pretty much the entire midfield and defence.
Yeah, that's the problem.
So
they've just really got nothing. I mean, Dyer, whatever's happening with him, has been quite poor recently anyway.
Yeah.
Even Ali, I think, he hasn't been playing great.
Yeah, I mean, look at the way Mourinho's trying to play. It's the same thing he was doing at United. He's got his midfield's just too static. He was playing, just Matic in that Mourinho team when he was out of form. It was just, it was horrible to watch. And Eric Dyer is doing the exact same thing as Spurs now.
He's literally in the same role. It's not surprising. That's just how Jose's working, and he's blaming it. I see how he'll get away with this season because of the injuries.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's fair enough to only judge when he's actually got a full team back, which will be next season. But I mean, if he starts next season poorly, then he could be gone by December.
Yeah. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he's gone by Christmas. That is if football's continuing like that, which we don't know. But yeah, no, he looks like he's on the way out. I think he's finished, honestly. The way he was roasting Ndombele in public.
I thought that was really poor. I'd be really upset if Ole, I know he never would, but would do that to United player. I
mean, this is something we said a few episodes back, but the most noticeable thing about Ole is he never criticises anyone in public. It seems to always be behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And I mean, Sven-Göran Eriksson on Monday Night Football with Carragher, he was saying if he was going to criticise someone in public, if it was for behaviour or something in front of a referee, fair enough, which that sounds reasonable, because that's not really about your footballing ability, that's just a public dressing down, that's fine. But I think in the modern era, you can't criticise players in public. I think most of them are just too fragile.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Ndombele reacts to it. I mean, Carragher also saw, he did analyse his game and he was very poor.
Yeah.
So, yes, he should be told that he's not playing well, but whether that should be in front of the cameras. Yeah, it's just Jose for you, though, isn't it? Really, it's not a big surprise.
That's his style. That's how he's trying to get a reaction. I think. Yeah, I mean, it worked for him before 10 years ago when players were a bit more robust, but now.
Yeah, the press would get.
It's not smart.
It was not smart.
Not the best of ideas at all. Now I guess we'll come to the weekly instalment of the Paul Pogba show. So now reports that he wants to stay at United.
A few saying that he's excited or intrigued by the way that we're now playing with Bruno, and that he wants back in. I think
it is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what will happen the rest of the season will actually change the summer transfer window completely. It'll be very interesting to see if there's no Euros and whatever does happen, whether we end up playing the last, 8th or whatever of the season in June.
Yeah.
What will happen to the transfer window is really hard to tell, but I think he's realised that it's going to be hard for him to buy him, considering he hasn't been playing for like 6-7 months now.
Honestly, it's not even that. I think the only club that would really be able to buy him, actually there's two clubs that could buy him, PSG and Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Real Madrid, Fede Valverde has stepped up and been absolutely brilliant for Madrid this season. And if you look at their midfield depth now, they've got Valverde, Kroos, Casemiro, Modric.
They don't need to spend 100-ish million on.
Exactly. There's no need. There was talk that Madrid now value him at 50 million. 50 million for Pogba, that's not going to get him out of United.
No chance.
He might just be stuck. Like, it's going to teach him a lesson, but I think we said last week, if he wants to come back into the squad, he's going to have to sit on the bench.
Yeah, and come on and play well. Yeah.
Show that he deserves to start, because Fred's in great form. Matic has been so crucial to our defensive success recently. And, I mean, Scott McTominay, fans' favourite, it's going to be hard to get him out of the team.
Yeah, I mean, and it'll be interesting again, depending on if games are played.
Yes.
It's been said for the last 3 weeks he's going to start training on Monday, Monday. And this, again, he hasn't been training this week.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whether he's even going to be back training next week anyway, I think he's probably written off for the season at this point.
I'd say his season... what it reminds me of is, remember last year with Lukaku? He kept getting, before he was moving to Inter, he kept getting suspicious injuries. A little ankle problem, a little back problem here and there, and it just kept spiralling. Every week there was a new slight problem that he just wasn't quite ready for the next game. And it seems to be the same thing always doing.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, if he does stay, I'm not going to be upset about it.
No, I think
if he works his way back into the team during pre-season play as well, you can't complain about a midfield with we've got depth finally.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be Bruno obviously starts. Pogba probably would start if he gets back into form.
Yeah, it'd be Fred, Pogba and Bruno probably. Or McTominay, Pogba, Bruno.
And I mean, if one gets injured, then we have depth, and you're not weakening the team that much, and that's what we need to get to. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not so keen on the whole idea of a diamond, because I think we've got really good wide players. It'd be a shame to not be using them, especially if we do sign a proper centre forward. Then we've got Martial and Rashford from the left. You'd want to use at least one of them. And we should be signing a right winger in the summer, you'd hope. So it'd be a shame to move to a diamond and not use them.
It'd be very interesting to see what we do play if he does stay. Again, it's dependent on the other transfers that we make.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the one criteria for whether Pogba gets in the team now is if Pogba can come back and he can match Scott McTominay's work rate, Fred's work rate, he can play. Because quality-wise, if he can match their work rate, he's probably going to just about edge it over them. But if he's not going to get near that work rate, then he can sit on the bench and waste his career.
Yeah. If he ever does want to leave, he's going to have to play well. I said it last week. They're not, because he hasn't played for so long. All of his no one's going to value him highly because he hasn't been playing. He can't prove that he's been playing well. So he needs a few games. And I thought it was going to be the end of the season. I thought he was tonight for the last game, or maybe next week for the Old Trafford leg. If everything had been normal, I thought that he would be on the bench or starting at least one of them.
Yeah.
And then we'll be playing a few games, warming up for the Euros, then go in the summer. But now that isn't likely to happen. Yeah, I think he probably will stay. Actually, I would not be surprised if he's still here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It is a bit of an enigma, isn't it? Because if you look at his behaviour around the club, everyone in and around the club is saying he's professional in training, he works hard, he's inspiring. There's youngsters that have gone elsewhere, the likes of Sean Goss, I guess, that the player they looked up to in that first team, admittedly this was a couple of years ago, it was Paul Pogba. And they were impressed by how good he was in training, his professionalism, his dedication. And there was obviously the contrast between the noises coming out of the club and what the media is saying. Yeah. Obviously, media are trying to sell stories, so...
They've always been against Pogba anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I think... I hope he does, if there are games this season, I hope he does play in some of them, and the other obviously interesting bit of transfer news was Jude Bellingham.
Jude Bellingham,
who was visited Carrington, didn't he, midweek.
Yeah, it's amazing that as a club we can just flex and throw out Cantona and try and get him.
I mean, we were linked to him in January for it was like over 30 million.
Paying that for a 16-year-old normally is ridiculous, but he's playing first team football in a league that is probably more important that you're a little bit more physically mature than the Premier League. So I mean, he shows he can deal with the physical nature of playing at Reading. So.
It would be an interesting signing if we do it, and I hope that unlike James, he's weaned into the squad, not just chucked in and left to go stale, as I think has happened with James.
But I mean, as I said before the winter break, though, I think with James and Martial, before the winter break when we were criticising them, they did just look tired. Like even after that 1 week rest, which it was, Martial in games has been pressing more. He's still lazy, yeah, but he's been pressing a lot more. He's been working a lot harder, trying to get in the box. Obviously, there's still quite a lot of times when he's just like, what are you doing? Get in the box. Just make some effort to get near the penalty spot. But he's working harder. I think we'll get there eventually with Martial.
Yeah, and James, I think it's just the way that the City are playing against us. He always looks better when we're on the counter. And he obviously will because he's just got the pace. But I just think against a team that's going to sit back against us, it's almost useless having him on the pitch because he just runs at them. He can't really get past them, and it's pointless having the pace unless you're on the break. So.
Exactly, he's pretty much a one-trick pony at this point. I think he's just like he's fast and he can sort of knock the ball in behind and run into space. When there's no space in behind, you may as well not have him.
I think his decision making was poor on Sunday as well. I think
there
was that chance towards the end that he should have just
passed back to Bruno.
And there were a few other passes, but
I mean that's the thing with the whole team. You know, obviously that Fred interview a few weeks back where he came out and said people are doing things for the wrong reasons. Everyone's doing things for themselves. They're not they're making runs for themselves, not for teammates. I think that problem is slightly starting to go away, but there were sort of. You did see echoes of that on Sunday. I mean, there was that chance when Martial decided to shoot and put it straight at Ederson.
It was again Bruno who just at the top of the box.
As Bruno at the top of the box could have squared it across the 6-yard line to Dan James. Either way, it's a goal and we're 2-0 up and a bit more comfortable. But Martial went for it himself, and maybe you expect your striker to score there, but when the chance is that simple, you make the right decision. You've got to pass it.
Exactly. So I think that James he's not. It was still a good signing.
Yeah, definitely. 15 million.
And I think it was hopefully if we do sign a right wing in the summer, then he'd be good for the bench.
Yeah,
good to throw on in those games, just that sheer pace.
Yeah.
But I think it was a mistake to just throw him right in at the deep end. And I think he's coped reasonably well.
Yeah.
He had a very very good start, and he's still playing all right.
I mean, what I like about him is just his work rate as well. Like. Even he'd been on all game against City. Every time we won the ball back, it was played in behind, expecting him to run onto it. And even if he didn't quite get there, he'd still make that sprint every time to try and get that ball. But when it got to sort of, I think the 88th, 90th minute, he was sprinting in behind. There was one where he got the ball, this was the one where he should have passed back to Bruno. This was really late on, and he ran like 40, 50 metres with the ball.
And I think this is the thing with everyone now. Almost everyone on the pitch now is actually finally playing for the club, which we didn't have before.
Yeah, playing for the badge.
You could see it with McTominay just kissing the badge at the end. The amount of emotion and all their celebration at the end was something we haven't seen for a long time.
That was incredible.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, and even for the first goal as well, it's passion that hasn't been there.
Honestly, that end of that game is something I'll never forget. That was absolutely incredible.
Unreal.
I don't know when we're ever going to see something like that again at Old Trafford, but hope it's soon. But that was honestly incredible.
Yeah.
After all these years of mediocrity in the derby at Old Trafford against City, finally, and stuffed them. It was a just complete performance in every way, absolutely every way.